We're going to look at in this section are the generators. Now, generators are essentially built-in clips in Final Cut Pro that you can use for various different reasons and functions, such as placeholders, timecode generators, countdown clocks, etc. But they are generated inside Final Cut Pro X rather than you bringing them in from outside. Let's go ahead and put your playhead in between these two clips. Now let's say you wanted to add a gap here, a space in between these clips where there was not another clip, but just a blank space. Simply hold down Option and hit your W button. This will create a gap clip. And with this gap clip, you can extend the space in between it by dragging. You can also add connected clips onto this gap clip. So let's say you wanted to have a connected clip not connected to a clip in the primary storyline, but to just a gap clip. That way, no matter where you move the gap clip, you're not messing up with anything in the primary storyline. Go ahead and hit Command Z. We'll undo these. Now let's say you didn't want to insert a gap, but a placeholder clip. A clip that would give you somewhat of an idea of what kind of clip you're going to need to put there later on. Let's say you're missing a shot of B-roll. Hold down the Command Option button this time and hit W again. This creates a placeholder clip. So let's say we knew it was another 2-shot that we needed. We can come up over here into the inspector, go over to the placeholder editor. We can change it to a close-up shot. We can change how many people are in the close-up shot. We can change the gender of the people from men to women. We can change the background somewhat. That didn't really do anything. Let's go medium shot. Yeah, there's the distant city in the background. And we got a beach, urban, mountains. Isn't it great? You can change it to a cloudy day. You can change it to an interior. And you can also type little notes over here for your editor to see later. Need shot by window. So these are great ways to just have a conversation with your editor while you're not in the room with them if you need to tell them what kind of shot you need in this place. Go ahead and delete this placeholder. Now we also have these things called backgrounds and textures in Final Cut Pro. If you go up over here to the library panel, go all the way to the right over here to the titles and generators panel. Now you've got your titles and you've got your generators. Let's get rid of titles for a second, go down to generators. In here, you've got some 360 color gradients, you've got different types of backgrounds that you can use, clouds, blobs, and if you hover over any one of these, for the most part, they'll give you a little preview. As you can see, all clouds, underwater, pretty cool. I mean, these are all come along with Final Cut Pro, and you can use them in your editing, you can use them in your socials, in all your videos that you do. And it's a great way to have a good base. Now if we go over here into the elements subcategory in the generators, you'll see you have your placeholder clip again that we were using with the shortcut. And down over here we have a time code generator which you can drop right on top of your timeline as a connected clip, so to speak. Starts at 0, goes on through the end. You can also select it up over here, change the type of format, if it's going to be drop frame, if you want to look at frames themselves. You can change the font, the size, and you can change any kind of an offset you might want to do. If you don't want it to start at 0, let's say. Go ahead and delete that. We also have a shapes elements preset, which this one right over here, you can drag and drop that down there. You see it's just a circle right now. We also have a counting over here generator, where if you wanted to count down or count up to something, have that dropped on there. And we can change font, we can change format, and over here we can change the start and the end. So we can do a count down from 100 to 0, we can do count outs, etc., etc. It could be a number, it can be currency, it can be percentage, it can be scientific, binary, hexadecimal. Everybody loves hexadecimal. So as you can see, a lot of built-in cool little generator things that Final Cut Pro can help you with along the way. Now let's say you're using one of these a lot, like you're using a countdown a lot. What you can do is you can right click on here and you can select it as Make Default Generator. Now when you come down over here into the timeline, if you hit Option Command W, that will automatically insert that default generator into your timeline. Alright, so now that we've got a fairly good grasp on the video editing in Final Cut Pro, let's move on to the audio editing.